All right, I am live. Hi there, how are you? Happy Sunday. I have decided to do a real time instead of doing uploading. Let me bag. Hi there, I'm Dr. LaQuita J, and welcome to Success Sundays. If you do not know, I am a Naplex success coach. I help pharmacists pass the Naplex in 6 months or less by shifting their mindset, strategizing their plan, so they're effective for the Naplex exam. And tonight, I have decided, um, I have decided that we are going to do a live. As you do know, on Success Sundays, I do post a video every Sunday on YouTube. If I decide to do a live and live stream it, right? I thought it'd be good and I thought it'd be fun, right? So let's get started. As you see, the title is "How to Know if it's when it's time. It's time to seek help. Seek help for your Naplex prep." And I really want to make this distinction because a lot of times people don't understand. But before I start, though, I want to say thank you guys. Y'all have showed up and showed out. Thank you guys for all those who attended case study last week. It was a major success. I do want to share some of the wins that we've had gotten from here. Look at those wins. Walk away saying I feel confident. Saying, can I book a strategy call? Because you want to join the Netflix play cohort. All right, then. Then, like, look, the PSA say, LaQuita, you are amazing. Why, thank you. I appreciate it. And you ready to join? I want y'all to join too. So I thank y'all. I really, really thank y'all for showing up and showing out. It has been truly amazing. I want to thank you guys again. Um, Definitely want to say that. But now let's get into it, right? Because in here tonight, I don't want to be a long time, but I do want to make sure I talk about this. And I got my notes and I got different screens. So I'm going to look at somebody. At one point, this ring gonna be good, but until then, we here. So how to know? How to know if it's time to seek help for the Netflix prep? Let's just start with some questions. Let me just ask you a couple questions, right? And if it's you, that by any means you can come as me, you just comment below, say it's me, right? Does this sound familiar? You've been studying for months, but when you take a practice test, your scores don't improve. Is this you? Second thing, you keep telling yourself, maybe I need more time, but deep down, you're really unsure if what you're doing is actually working. Does this sound familiar to you? Third thing, the fear of failing again is so overwhelming that you either procrastinate or overstudy without a clear direction. Is this you? Or lastly, you feel alone. You feel alone in this process. You're wondering if you're the only one struggling this much to pass. If any of these sound familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. That was one of the key things that happened that everyone saw who came into the case study said, wow, I'm not alone. Wow, there are more people like me who have not passed this exam yet, who are just in this cycle. There are more people like me. You are not alone. Many pharmacists reach a breaking point where they realize it's time to seek help. It's time to seek help before wasting more time, more energy, and money. The key is really to knowing when to make that decision. And I want to come give you some signs to recognize when you know it's when you need help. One is the most obvious thing: repeated failures. The wake up call that you just can't ignore. The feeling the Netflix multiple times is frustrating, but it's also a signal. It's also a signal. If you've taken a Naplex more than once and you keep falling short, something is really not working. It's something that's not working. And repeating the same study methods and expecting different results won't lead to success. That is the true definition of insanity. To do the same thing over and over and expect different results. And the only time I say when that is not insanity is we talk in the realm of faith. Then that's a whole nother thing. Cause I can, hey, Pastor LaQuita may come out then. But that's a whole different thing there. Different thing. But when we constantly repeat the same study methods, where you start studying for the exam, and let's take the topic, right? You start studying for oncology. You realize it's a lot of information. I'm not familiar with these drugs because they are not common drugs in our practice. So you're not common with these. And then you say, oh, this is not working for me. Well, let me go to a test bank and see how they testing on it. And you start going through the test bank. And then you realize, okay, well, let me just focus on things I got wrong, what things they highlighted. And you start studying more and more. But when asked a question to explain something, you draw a blank. Because those are creating, that type of studies creating knowledge gaps. That keep doing that. You did it on the first attempt. Now you're doing the second attempt because you're overwhelmed with the information. Instead of breaking the information down to chunks. See, that's truly a sign that they repeated failure. You gotta do something different. You keep seeing that score of failed. That's the difference. One of the things, as I mentioned in the case study, is that my client RS, she took the Naplex 3 times before she finally, before she reached out for help. She recognized what she was doing wasn't working. She had the mindset of studying harder and longer, and each time she studied longer. She did more practice questions, and she still failed. The problem she had was that she didn't have strategy. She didn't have strategy. She was relying on repetition instead of active recall and targeted review. If that's you, if I'm at your role, let me know. If you're watching the replay, just say it's me. But after Dr. Arias joined the program, we broke down her study habits. We identified her weak points. We developed a structured plan for her. And on her fourth attempt, she passed. The difference was, 1, she was not studying alone. 2, she got expert guidance throughout the process, through every disease state, through every weakness, everything like, hey, that's good, but I think you do better. She was constantly being poured into with a confidence. That's the difference. But let's go on to 2. Second sign how you know if it's time for you to get to seek help. It's the lack of progress. Spinning your wheels without moving. What they say, this is activity versus productivity. You know, you can be actively doing something, but not make any progress. You can actively run in place, but you ain't going nowhere because you literally standing running in place, but you active, but you're not productive. And it's not showing any progress. You're studying, but your performance isn't improving. You're studying, but you still feel overwhelmed. You're studying, and 6 months later, you still feel like you don't know anything. You feel like you're putting in the hours, but you still struggle to retain the information. You take practice exams, you take quizzes, but your scores stay the same or even drop. You finish reading a chapter, but you can't recall anything. You're like, what did I just read? See, this is a sign that you need more, what you're doing is not working. Because what happens is that many pharmacists use the same ineffective study techniques they use in pharmacy school. Highlighting. Highlighting is good, but when you start highlighting, everything becomes important. It becomes very passive. You're rereading. You keep rereading. I remember one time I had a client. She said that she every time she started writing notes, she kept writing notes over and over and over, hoping repeat. I said that's the problem. You keep rewriting. That's a form of memorizing. You memorize the information. You haven't took out time to actually study the information. I simply say, how can I remember this? Or you start writing notes and everything's important. Before you know it, it took you 3 hours to write to write on a small chapter because everything was important. You just passively writing things. When you're preparing for the Naplex, it requires a different approach. It requires an approach that's combined with active recall, real world application, and intentional study sessions. A few months ago, right? I had a client. He had been studying for months. He covered every single topic in his prep book, but his practice scores never improved. He felt like he knew the material while studying it, but as soon as he tried to apply it, he just went blank every time. He couldn't figure out what was going on. He went blank every time. But after joining my program, he learned how to study with purpose. He learned how to review using the SCORE method. He learned how to do the application, how to really apply his knowledge to real world applications through our form method. He used that question-based learning to build his confidence. It's even going back to, even with him, of course, he passed, but even going back to Dr. RS, one of the key things she did is as she kept going and studying, at first she dreaded studying, but then she got in the habit of loving it. The confidence came. She got in, like she loved it because it was like a challenge for her to show up for herself every time. Because even with Dr. RS and Dr. BW, it's still studying hard isn't the answer. It was the thing of studying smarter. Knowing coming in every day what to study, how to study, when to study. Yes, when to study. We do all that. Because we have a holistic approach to studying. At this point, that's a thing. That's a sign where you have to do a holistic approach. You can't be of studying when especially when you're on multiple attempts. That's your sign. If you're coming in, thank you, welcome. I am Dr. LaQuita J. I'm a Naplex success coach. I help pharmacists shift their mind. I help pharmacists pass the Naplex in 6 months or less by shifting their mindset, strategizing their plans so effective for the Naplex exam. And on this live tonight, on this Success Sunday, we have decided to go live, and we're going to talk about how you know it's time to seek help for your Naplex prep. 1 is repeated failures. 2 is the lack of progress. Your wheel keeps spinning because you're not moving forward. And 3, it's the self-doubt. The self-doubt is truly a silent killer of your confidence and your performance. The self-doubt. Doubt your mindset is more dangerous than a knowledge gap ever. Because you can talk your way into something, out of something. And if you got in your mind that something is wrong, you got in your mind something ain't right, it's always going to be that way, and there's no need to changing it. It's always going to be that way. That's why I've learned. I've learned of things I can change when it comes to people. Like, hey, this is a mindset. You got to change that. I tell my clients all the time, I can teach you everything, but your mindset, I can give you the tools. You got to implement them every single time. It's the mindset. That doubt is so dangerous. Even if you know the material, that self-doubt can make you start second guessing every single answer. That little whisper of, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. That little whisper there. I'm not confident enough. I don't know enough information. Those little whispers, if you don't correct those, that leads to hesitation. When you leads to changing your correct answers, increase your test anxiety. One thing you take from me, now I'd say this a freebie for tonight. Be confidently wrong. And no matter what you do, be confidently wrong. Be confidently wrong. That's definitely one. Because when you don't trust yourself, you procrastinate, you overthink, you waste valuable time. This is why coaching changes this. And a structured support that builds confidence through clarity. When you know exactly what, how, and when to study, you feel more prepared. Accountability from a coach that helps eliminate the uncertainty that comes with self-studying. Holding you accountable to really get through the book. Because a lot of times, and it was me, the first time I failed the exam and the second time I failed the exam, I didn't study the entire book. The accountability. And a lot of times with my clients, they come in, yes, there are some things you can know. Yes, there are some things I can teach you. Yes, there I can. However, you still have to be held accountable to go through all the things. Accountability is needed. I'm holding you accountable to make sure you said you was going to do what you said you was going to do. You said you was going to study this entire book, study the entire book. You said this is my last time. You said I'm doing it for my kids. You said I don't want to be here next year. So hey, we're not going to be here next year. Okay. See, that's what accountability does. And you're not, instead of guessing if you're ready, you have someone telling you who has watched your progress for over 8 weeks or more, telling you, I see the progression. You also have data back evidence showing your progress. You can see the improvement on your entry exams versus your exit exams. You can see the proof. Oh, I'm not going to give y'all my sauce. I'm about to give y'all my sauce. Let me stop. I'm going to give y'all the sauce. Let me stop. Because I'm telling you, when you see your own proof, I have a technique that sees you see your own proof. And you can see your proof where you said, hey, I'm ready for this exam. I'm not. But we're not going to do that. I'm not going to give y'all my proof. I'm sorry. But you have to stop guessing. 3 things that you know it's time to seek help. Repeated failure, lack of progress, and 3, the self-doubt. It's silent killer. Because what happens is when those 3 things keep happening, you begin to wait longer, which makes it harder every time. The longer you start to say, I'm not ready. Oh, this is it. The fear you're stuck. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more time passes, the more knowledge fades. Because you may not, majority of the time, you're not reviewing. Test anxiety increases every single failed attempt. Your financial and emotion burden delaying your license to grow. Even the thing is, it's taking longer. It's harder to start. You keep delaying your dreams. But if you start sooner, or better yet, what happens when you start sooner? 1, you get on the right path before the frustration even sets in. You start seeking progress sooner and build that momentum. You begin to take control of your study plan instead of letting time control you. You start thinking about where you're going to be once you pass this exam. You start believing it again. You start believing in yourself again when it happens. What it really takes to become, especially for someone who has repeated failures, especially for someone who are so far in their mind that they can't even just study to have a productive day and study for the exam. What it really takes to become a registered pharmacist is your mindset and your work ethic. Success isn't just about studying, it's about how you approach the process. How you approach the process is also one. Oftentimes, people want to come to me and they want, oh, I don't know the information. It's the information lab, or explain this, explain that. But honestly, it's your approach to studying. Again, sometimes it's not a knowledge gap, it's how you approach even the process itself. I shared, doing the case study, I shared a testimonial from one of the previous clients, and it's on our website, LaQuitaJohnson.com, on the tab Client Wins. And in that video, sometimes you got to go back and remind yourself, because it's something she said so important. She said that this program doesn't does does not just teach you what to study, but it teaches you how to study, how to truly study effectively for this exam, and how you build your confidence along the way. This is what sets Pharmacy RPH different. This what sets Dr. LaQuita J different than any other program, than anybody who says I'm a coach. See, I don't even call myself a tutor, because tutor focus on knowledge, Naplex areas, knowledge. We beyond that. We're about the person. And what it takes is that mindset, how you approach your process is very important. That day-to-day activity. One of the things I've even, for me, just learning just recently and just really implemented, saying to myself of, LaQuita, focus on the, and I hope y'all can see me, because I see it's like a little, I look clear to me, but I hope I'm clear to y'all. Because the connection went a little low, but I'm clear to y'all. It's a hope and a prayer, but it's a hope and a prayer. But anywho, um, focus on the activity. When you focus on the activity so much, you look up and see the result. Commit. Commit to showing up consistently. That's what a person who wants to become a registered pharmacist in a short period of time, they're committed to showing up consistently. They're committed to doing the work, even when it gets tough. I have two clients currently. And two of these clients, one has already had the flu. The second client's child has already been sick. These are two clients in the cohort right now. This has already happened right now. See, life on life. I always say, when you're about to go into the next level, life gonna start the life. It's gonna get dark before it gets good. But you commit every day to showing up no matter what. You commit to showing up no matter what. You show up consistently and you do the work even when it gets tough. Because every single person has faced an obstacle. But the thing is, you just don't quit. You don't give up, and you start being grateful for the smallest things. I remember doing my darkest days. Darkest days. I only had about 4 things to do, and it was the most simplest thing. Did you get out of bed today? Did you brush your teeth? Did you take a bath? And the fourth one, if you made your bed, girl, you doing good. It's the smallest little things on your darkest days. But you just don't quit. You don't quit at all. If you want to become a registered pharmacist, you need accountability. You either have to hold, you need to seek somebody to get accountability. It's just like when you need a personal trainer in the gym. You go to the gym all you want to. Sometimes you need a personal trainer going to show you how to hold you accountable and to see your progress and to really challenge you to show you who you're made of. Pharmacists who pass on their retake don't just wish for success. They take action. They follow proven strategies. They seek expert guidance. They seek accountability. They understand accountability. Also, when it's time, what it takes to become a registered pharmacist is a structured strategy. You don't just study harder, you study smarter. And what does that mean? You follow an efficient guided plan that leads to mastery and confidence. That leads to real time Naplex simulations that checks your progress week by week. That's what is needed. The doors to the Naplex Play February cohort are open. I would love for you to join. They're open. We have our mindset and math boot camp this Friday on 28th and March 1st. If you have taken the Naplex exam multiple times and you are making progress, or you struggle with self-doubt, it is time to do something different. If you are someone who said, I'm sick and tired and tired of being sick and tired, and you are committed to doing the work, that you don't need any hand holding, that because you know it's on me. And one of the key things that happened to me on my last attempt, I wrote down everything I did not do during the previous attempts. And I said to myself, I'm gonna do everything I didn't do because this is my last time taking this exam. So for you, what have you not done during these past attempts? Or what have you not done even for your first attempt? What have you not done? And go do it. Go do it. The Naplex Play program gives you a structured plan, expert coaching, accountability to pass with confidence, access to an expert guide. Even right now as we speak, I'm going live with you, but guess what? I'm co-working with my clients right now on a Zoom call. Because we working. On this Sunday, we are working. They have had the option to study with me since 2 p.m. today while I do work. See, this is kind of the accountability that you need to say, make sure I'm getting stuff done. Even the person on the Zoom call right now, she a teacher. She's doing classwork so she can get that stuff done. So she can go back to studying for the Naplex exam. See, that's the kind of thing when you do something different, you become a Naplex coach when you learn. This program is for pharmacists who are serious about doing the work to become licensed. And what does the work look like, Dr. LaQuita? No excuses. Showing up for yourself. Showing up for the program. Showing up for the money you invest in this program. To not make, again, no excuses. To show that you are committed. Come hell or high water, I'm going to become a licensed pharmacist. That RPH will be behind my name. This is special for pharmacists who want to take the exam by April 30th. This is for the pharmacists who are ready to help cross the finish line, who are ready to do the work, who says, I'm willing, who willing to learn, who willing to follow the path. Who willing to lock in for 8 weeks. To lock in for the next 8 weeks. Yes, it's 8 weeks. So guess what? Next week, Friday, Saturday is March 1st. Who's ready to lock in? And truly say, this is my last time passing the exam, because the tests like speed. They don't take that long. Who stop making excuses? Who's ready to say, I don't care no matter what's going on around me. I'm about to study. In the words of Eric Thomas, you tell them, call your people and tell them, hey, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you after April 30th because right now I'm focused on Naplex. I'm tired of being where I am right now. Hey, when it comes to you, the parents, child care, hey, I need you to take care of the child between X amount of time. I got to study. It's time to elevate this family. It's time to do the work. So, yes, I definitely said it to you. This is what the Naplex Play look like. You can enroll at LaQuitaJustin.com/Naplex Play. You start again February 28th through to March 1st with a kickstart program with mindset and math training. Because we believe those are the two most important things right now. And then we hit into disease states. And if you want to just know all the things, join. Have any questions? Either email me at info@farmreaderrph.com. Message me. You can message me, comment below on the live. Message me on LinkedIn if you like. All platforms at Dr. LaQuita J. All right. It's time to get started. You just identified the things. Why? When you know it's time to seek help. For me, it was time when I looked up, it was almost a year. I've been out of school and I hadn't passed the exam. And I actually did the math and calculated how much money I was missing every time I had not, each day I had not taken the exam. When I looked up and saw my colleagues living their best life, and I'm over here depressed, scared, fearful, low, because people love to see you down. They love to see you down. So I definitely would say that. And also too, the last time when it comes to the Naplex Play, you don't need somebody to hold your hand. You don't need somebody to pull out the best in you. They pull out the best in you, and you probably like to really, you become the best version of yourself that you ever had, that you ever have been when it comes to preparing for this exam. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I want y'all to go be great. Have an amazing day. Time whenever you're watching this video. But until next time, remember that pharmacy is on limit if you are. Now go be great, and I will talk to you guys later. All right. Happy Sunday.